like believe in yourself wholeheartedly. And then like continue to just like put forth the necessary effort that is required for what you're trying to achieve. Um, so like studying or like trying to do well in school, like you can't just expect to show up and do well on the test like if you don't try to learn the material. So
Mm-hmm.
like you have to put forth that effort. And then same thing with track and field, like you have to put in the effort. But believing in yourself is also a very like key component, because like if you don't believe it, like no, regardless of what other people think, like because
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be like, you can't do that. um if you don't believe it, it's not gonna happen.
And we are live on the Dino Show again, making moves in my whip in Las Vegas. Actually about to pull up to Jersey soon. I don't know when this video is gonna release, but it's around Christmas time right now. So definitely happy holidays to everybody. You already know my goal is to motivate the world. I want you guys to be able to chase your dreams and live your best life, which is why I'm highlighting what I'm doing to become the best version of myself and what other top dreamers, top trending athletes, artists, entrepreneurs are doing as well. Y'all already know I have the most elite people who are featured on this show. And today specifically, I have someone special. Everybody who's a guest is really special. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just putting no random people on here. Specifically, I've actually seen her profile. I think it may have been like 2 years ago. I really don't remember. But I know that she is a poppin' track and field athlete. I'm gonna let her explain more of her story herself, but I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that we have a poppin' athlete about to get on the stream. I'm gonna ask her questions, so you guys can know more about her and what you guys can personally do as well to get on another level than what you're doing right now. Shout out to Brandi. Yo, what's poppin'?
Hey, how are you?
I am beyond amazing. So, for people who have like no idea who you are, go ahead and let us know your name, the school you go to, and what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Brandi Hughes. Right now I'm at NC State University, and I'm a hurdler there.
Shout out Jersey, 973. Northside. What's yeah. I believe.
Sheesh. So NC State D1 hurdler. You know, I used to hurdle in high school. And the coaches lied to me in college saying that I was gonna hurdle in college.
Oh.
It didn't happen. Um, honestly, and it's crazy that you're a hurdler because like I used to be so nervous hurdling. I used to literally fall over hurdles. Like I could, it's so much, you know what I'm saying, that I used to do with hurdling that I obviously couldn't do at a collegiate level. You
Mm-hmm.
obviously took it serious and you're at like top notch level. Um, are you only a hurdler? Do you do other events or what?
Yeah, I would consider myself only a hurdler. Occasionally, my coach will throw me in to like open, like maybe the 2 or the 4. But that's more just like workout purposes. Like if
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those like lower level meets, he might just throw me in to be like, we're just gonna get a workout in.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely hurdling is my thing. And that's what I take all my pride in, is the hurdles.
And
This
how long have you been at NC State?
will be my second year at NC State.
Okay, because I know you had transferred or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? As I start with everybody, your childhood. First of all, where did you grow up?
Okay. So for the first 15 years of my life, I lived in California. Um, and then my dad got a job promotion right before I was going into high school, or kind of in the middle of my freshman year of high school. And we moved to Washington State, not DC, the state.
Washington
And
State.
then I was there for all of high school. Um, I was running track there, and then I ended up getting a scholarship to Tulane University, and that's where I did my undergrad. And then now I'm here at NC State.
Okay, so you grew up in California, amazing weather. Like I grew up in New Jersey, so it's like the difference is like night and day. It's actually ridiculous. When did you start track?
High school.
High school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before track, what were you doing? How was your life like growing up? Like, were you always into sports? Were you doing other things? Like, what was it like for you?
Yeah, I would say I was always athletic. I started dancing when I was 6 years old. So I did tap, jazz, modern, hip hop, lyrical. I was at a dance studio in Riverside. It was called Bree Dance Studio. And I competed with them on the national level up until I was 15. And then I moved. And then when I moved, I had tried to dance still, like, but I didn't really like any of the dance studios out in Washington or like around where I lived. And so I quit dance, but I still wanted...
Before you quit dance, you said you were at a national level dancing competitions. Was this like all genres you were at that level, or is it specific like one genre for like championships? I don't know.
We did all like the levels. So like I know that my team's tap routine and my team's hip hop routine, those normally were the ones who like actually won nationals, but we would compete with all of our different dance things. Have you ever seen Dance Moms before?
Not Dance Moms. I've seen like national championships with dancing though.
Okay.
But I was asking because I'm like, is it hip hop national championships, or is it just whoever can dance no matter what the music is, and you just choose what genre you want to choose?
Yeah, normally it's like an age group, but then sometimes they will do based on the genre. So like it might be like a top category or something like that. But most of the time it's like an age category, and then like the number one dance within that age category, like wins first place or second place.
So you grew up dancing. What were your dreams, goals, and desires? I guess at a young age. All right, so even before you answer this question, I know if somebody asked me what my dream was when I was in middle school, I really don't know what I would have said, honestly. But I'm gonna ask you. You know what I'm saying? So
I have an answer, so you're good. I remember.
What was your dream at that age?
So I wanted to be a professional dancer. When I grow up, I wanted to go to like Juilliard and stuff like that. I had actually started to like take the steps necessary to get to that path, because I auditioned for two of the like, I wouldn't say local because they were kind of far, performing arts high schools that were like nearest me, and I ended up getting into LA County High School for the arts, and for the first part of my freshman year of high school I was there, and my discipline was dance.
Is this in Washington or Cali? You're talking about
Cali? That was in Cali, yeah. And so in California, so yeah, it was Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. I had auditioned and made it in, and was there for the first part of my freshman year, and then my dad got the job promotion and we moved. So
this is a very important like aspect, not just like just for people to know like you, but it's like, because you're not dancing right now, and you just said you're at a national level dancing, but now you're at a national level competing track. So it's like showing people, one, that you could obviously do multiple things and you're talented at multiple things. Mm-hmm. So when you're in middle school going into high school, was your family more of like, okay, she's going to be a dancer, we're going to put all our efforts into this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My younger sister and I, we were both in dance, and like, that's what we were like just doing, because we did put a lot of training and effort. I was at dance classes, I want to say like 6 out of 7 days, and I was at the studio. So if I was at the studio, I was there for at least 2 hours, more like 6 hours, maybe 8 hours, depending on how many classes I had. And then if I was at school normally had like 2-hour classes. So most of the time growing up, I was just at the dance studio, and I was there 6 days out of the week, and training 2 to 6 hours. And then when I started going to LA County High School for the Arts, I would go to school, and we'd have our like regular like classes like math and stuff like that. And then I would go to my discipline, which was dance, and I was there for about 2 hours. And then I would drive an hour from LA all the way to Riverside to go to my dance studio and then take
Is
my dance
this
classes.
this is at what, like 15?
Yeah, so like the ages of 6 to 15, I was doing this. So like the driving from LA to Riverside, that was like 14, 15 years old. I was doing that. But before that, I would just drive through Riverside and be there at the dance studio. I practically live there.
It's great that honestly that you're a dancer, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who want to do dancing, you know what I'm saying, but don't know where to start. So I'm gonna ask for some game. If you had to give somebody advice who was a dancer before we moved to track, what advice would you give them? Because I know, for example, for me, if I had a kid right now and they wanted to be a national champion in dancing, I would have zero idea what to do. If they wanted to dance, period, I would have zero idea what to do.
So normally you'd have to do some kind of research and find a good studio. That's what my mom did. My mom ended up finding a dance studio in Riverside. They
like a coach, basically.
Yeah, there's dance studios just like all around. Some are better than others, and that's why I was saying like you should do some research and kind of figure out like maybe like how new it is, how long it's been in business, the teachers there, like what their like credentials are, and then once you find a good coach or like dance teacher, or I should say studio, there's lots of dance teachers at the studio, and you take different classes at the studio. And yeah, and then after that, like once you get your child signed up, then it's basically up to the child. They have to work hard, they have to listen to the teacher and, you know, do their best. And if they do follow directions really well and are hard workers, then they can go really far.
It's not like it's something you could do for fun, I know, but like if you want to take it serious, then you have to obviously take serious dance classes, maybe practice on your own. That's definitely good game. Like, thanks for that, for one. Now, you transitioned from dance to track. Do you think it helped you at all?
So what I found, and like from talking to other people who've done the same thing, where they like used to be a dancer when they were younger and then started running track, they basically work like the opposite muscles. You want to be, I guess, not necessarily less flexible, because it's good to be flexible in track, but like as a dancer, it makes you kind of like way too flexible, because you do want your muscles to be sort of kind of tighter so that you can have that fast twitch and actually like turn over quicker while you're running. I will say that it has helped with my flexibility with the hurdles, because you do have to be kind of flexible with the hurdles. I was just a little bit too flexible. I'm definitely not as flexible as I used to be, because of track, because of the muscles that it works. But yeah. So let's go back to middle school.
Yeah.
I had some like at actual school, not like dance or anything like that. I had two best friends. They were twins, and they ran track. And sometimes they would like come to my dance practices and watch, and then a few times they invited me to their track practices, and they really loved track, and they would show me their races and stuff like that. And so when I got to high school and I didn't like any of the dance studios, I was like, I still want to be active because I don't want to get fat.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me try track and field. And then so I started running because of them, and I ended up being pretty good at it, and I was able to get a scholarship.
Your first year, were you good? Like, what were the events you started out running?
So I was a sprinter, and then my freshman year, I did try hurdles, but I ended up essentially breaking my hip like around the third meet that we had, and the rest of my season was done.
How did you break your hip?
So my freshman year, I was like terrible at hurdles. Like I was running like 18 seconds in the 100. Like it was bad. And so spring break came, and I wanted to get better. So I went to the track by myself and was like, I'm gonna teach myself how to hurdle. Very bad idea. I ended up pulling my hip flexor trying to figure out how to like hurdle, but I wanted to keep running, so I was like, I'm fine, and I like ran through the pain. And then the third meet we had my freshman year, I was on the 4x1, and I had gotten out. I was first leg, and I overworked my hip flexor to the point that the flexor like pulled the top of my hip bone apart. I went down.
Started track. Did you have like goals at all, like to be
No.
good at
No, when I
all?
started running like my freshman year, I was just doing it just to do it, to see like if it was any good, and then I turned out
Yeah.
to be like semi fast. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this because like I guess I'm okay at it. And then um just like me as an individual, like I just try my hardest in literally everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want to be good at everything. So I started training really hard and like got into club track, and then I don't necessarily like considered like that I started hurdling until my junior year, because I literally only ran like 3 races my freshman year,
You
and not
still did
even
it
like
though. You still
hmm?
did it because I started like me jumping. I did one in like 7th grade, and I still consider that, even though it was one meet, because that one meet I won against people who were in my school. So it really doesn't count. But that one meet led me to realize, damn, I could be the best at something. That's the best that I am the best in my school at this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else I'm the best at. So I'm best at this. So that like motivated me. So it could really be the same for you, even though you ran 18 seconds.
Yeah, no, I was not good at hurdles my freshman year. I was like 4 or 5 stepping, like it was a mess.
But you said you ran club track, right? Is that the difference you think in how good you became?
Yes, I think club track is what really helped a lot, because I got more, I feel like, individualized instruction.
Yeah.
Because in my high school, our team was like, it was huge. There was like 100
Yeah.
something people on the track team. And most of them were sprinters. And it was just because a lot of people wanted to get out of PE. So they would like do it for like a PE credit.
Wait, you didn't have gym if you had track? Okay, y'all are different because we was not. Yo, what?
You
How?
could get like only like half a year's credit for doing the.
But does that mean you don't have to do gym?
So okay, so yeah, so I only had to do gym for my freshman and my sophomore year, because track counted for my junior and my senior year.
Point, because I'm like, dang, if track counted as like credit, then it really wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because like, because I had track in gym class, I really wouldn't like follow any directions. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they asked us to stretch, do all this, I'm like, yo, I have track practice. I do not want to do this right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But dang, that's mad lucky. So okay, gym was really a credit. And what were you saying before? Oh, that club track helped a lot. The reason why I wanted to focus on that is because I really want young kids to know that you can be naturally talented and go to a high level, but majority of people who go to a high level aren't just naturally talented. You need to take that talent and make sure you make it better than everyone else's talent. You know what I'm saying? By doing club track, by going to meets after the season, and doing other things with like school. So you said you won states your junior year, right? Okay. And at that point, were you thinking college, or what? At what point were you thinking I want to go Division 1?
I started getting, yeah, it was like my junior year, because after like I started running really well my junior year, then like I remember I entered the what is the portal?
Portal.
Yeah, whatever the like recruiting portal is. I entered that, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was getting messages from different universities, and then I was like, man, I just want to keep running faster so I could try to get like a full ride to
Yeah.
like one of these schools.
What was
And it ended
your
up,
what was your like dream school? Like not dream school. What was the first school that hit you up that you said, if nobody else hits me up, I would go here no matter what? If they offered me a full as well, like because obviously money could be like whatever. But like the first school that showed some type of interest, just saying you could just be on the team.
it was Xavier University, one of the many Xaviers.
Really, there's
It was,
multiple.
oh my gosh, where
Isn't it one Xavier? They're blue.
there's like multiple Xaviers that are blue, and they have like the similar and they're in different
Whereas
spots, because there's one in New Orleans, and
not
then
no
wasn't the one in New
D1
Orleans.
Xavier.
Mine was the one that I was talking about is like up like northeast, trying to think exactly where it was.
I know the real Xavier. There's only one Xavier.
No, there's multiple ones.
Okay, was it the one that only people know?
I think so.
Yo, I promise you, if you say Xavier, nobody else knows what other Xavier there is. I only know one, honestly. Maybe someone else does, but okay. The Xavier that people know, maybe. And then after that, when did wait, because you went to Tulane first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when did they come into play?
They came in around the same time as like almost everybody else did, because it was like Xavier and then like no one else, and then for like a little bit, and then like everyone else I was starting to get like a bunch of like calls from. The like official visits that I went on an official visit to Yale, Harvard,
Oh my gosh.
SMU, Tulane, and
What?
Kansas.
I just need to know what that official visit to Yale was like, and Harvard. Like,
Yale,
were they even talking to you about track?
I loved Yale so much.
Because I'm trying to figure out Kansas, like the big time schools I know, like they don't really say nothing about academics. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're just like really athletics. Damn, look at the track we got. Look at the uniforms. Look at all this. First of all, what did Yale and Harvard tell you to try to convince you to go to their school? I would like to know.
They were really working the Ivy League like card that they have.
Yeah.
They're like, we are one of the top, like, you know, academic, like, please come. Because Ivy Leagues actually don't they don't give scholarships. They give financial aid. So you can get like full financial aid.
They don't give track scholarships or athletic scholarships, but they give school scholarships? Is that...
No, they don't give any kind of scholarships. As far as I was aware, there was no
the
scholarships going on.
and a
It was just financial aid.
What is the difference between aid and a scholarship? It's just...
So, like, because, like, financial aid is based, it's, like, need-based.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Because my parents made so much money, I wasn't going to get anything from them. And I remember the Harvard coach being like, hey, your degree will help pay off your loans later in life. And I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. Because I would like it to be free now.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to pay it later. But yeah, no, Yale, I really loved Yale because, like, when I was looking at their academics, it was really cool. And then I sat in on a few classes, and all the students seemed like they were all really smart, but they all were, like, really nice and wanted to, like, help each other succeed.
Yeah, I can believe that, honestly.
Yeah, where at Harvard, they were a lot more competitive. And it was kind of intimidating sitting in at their classes. I was like, wow, all you guys are super high level, and you guys are all like, I'm going to be the best, and I don't care about helping anybody else be the best. I'm going to be the best, which is a cool mindset as well. Like, you know, sometimes you have to be kind of cutthroat to get to the top, but it was a little intimidating with the academic aspect going on there. I really loved Harvard's track team. If they would have offered me a scholarship, I probably would have gone to Harvard.
I actually know someone who read at Harvard.
Yeah, I know a few people who ran at Harvard as well.
Now that I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. That I'm thinking in my head. I know people who ran there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, the reason I put my head down, I'm like, damn. Because we're not just talking about track, like academics-wise, you had to be up there. Like, okay. So, in high school, you must have took class serious. Very serious.
I did the IB diploma. I don't know if you ever heard of that before.
What is that?
Okay, so AP classes, there's like a lot of schools have AP classes. My school had IB, which is kind of like AP on steroids. Because it's the IB stands for International Baccalaureate. And so all the classes are set at an international level. So that means that you're at the same level as other countries like China, Australia, like all those other, like literally everybody in the world, you're on the same standard. And the United States, like,
I thought our standard was highest compared to
the United States, we're kind of like, we're not like
compared to the top countries, or just are you comparing it to the top countries or every country in the world?
It's the top countries.
Okay.
So
I'm
like, because you have
no
to
way.
like meet their standards. So like, yeah. So like, the courses were a lot more rigorous because it's held at a higher standard. And I did the international baccalaureate diploma because you could just take the classes and not get the diploma. You can get a regular high school diploma, but I did the one where I got like the special diploma, which means I had to take a certain amount of IB classes, and then there was other extra things that I had to do. Like I had to do 50 hours of service. I think it was 50 hours of something creative, and then 50 hours of one other thing.
This is a serious question.
Yeah.
Why did you care about school that much?
That was just kind of something that like was instilled to me as a kid. Like my parents are super into like doing well. They're also very into doing well in in all aspects of life. So you have to do good in everything.
Was that? Do you feel like it helped you having like good grades? When it came down to your decision, do you feel like that helped you because you had good grades with the schools you wanted to go to?
I would say like having good grades made it so that it was like easier to pick whatever school I wanted to go to, because like my grades were never an issue. Like like if my grades were low, like Harvard and Yale would have been out of the question. Yeah, because they would have been like, yeah, you're not doing well enough to even come here. But yeah, I think it just made it so like I could solely focus on picking a school based off of like track and field. The way that I actually ended up picking it wasn't based off of like if the school was like super well known for track and field. Is I was looking for if they produced people who were able to go to like regionals, nationals, but also like so that I knew that I would have a lane to run in.
Yeah.
So like say like if I decided to go to a school like Oregon or like USC, it wouldn't have been guaranteed that I was going to ever meet, like, because I would have to be the top person. And coming from Washington, like, yes, I worked really hard and yes, I did run fast, but I know that I wouldn't have been the top person at certain schools.
And that's how I made my decision too. And it's important that like people listening understand that, because it's like a lot of people think, dang, if this school hits me up, like let's say even Oregon, if Oregon hits me up, I'm gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? And I remember someone telling me, dang, Oregon could possibly look at you. You probably would have to pay a lot of money to go there. But if you could get on the team, but you would probably redshirt. You know what I'm saying? With University of Arkansas too, they had like just won the national championships. And I went on an official visit and it was like, okay, you guys have like 5 jumpers in the top 15 in the nation. I'm not going here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because some people want to be, it's not even about being a superstar. It's knowing that it's possible to be the superstar, but that you're going to compete once you get there. Obviously, nobody wants a red shirt. Like, that's not something you anticipate, really. So, Tulane, everybody who knows the NCAA should know Tulane. Because I knew them just from football, period. But you made your decision to go there. And what was that decision based off of? You went on an official visit first?
Yeah, I went on an official visit there. It was a lot of fun. And ultimately, it was like a lot of people call Tulane like the Ivy League of the South. So it had really good academics. There was a good hurdler there that I could train with. And the coach, she seemed like she was pretty good. So I was like, this seems like the best fit of everything I want. And I know that I'm going to be able to run when I go there because Tulane is a private school. It is really expensive to go there. So our track team was really big. So I knew that I was going to be able to run in most of the meets because I'm like most people aren't just walking on to the track team unless you're like stupid rich.
Okay, so I mean, it's good that you're saying you made your decision based off your own like factors that were important in your life. So you get to Tulane, you know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, right?
Tulane's in New Orleans, Louisiana. Tulsa is Oklahoma.
Okay, Tulsa. I'm like, bro, I know.
Yeah, they were in the same conference as us.
Yeah, like I'm like those schools are like the same in my head. Okay, but Tulane, okay, they're green. I know, green and like navy blue, right?
It's green and like
Navy
a
blue,
lighter
dark
blue.
blue.
But yes,
Oh,
it's
it's
green and
light
blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you do there? You were there for how long?
I went there for, okay, so technically like 3.5 years, because I finished my undergrad in 2019.
How was your experience there?
It was it was straight. Like the classes were pretty rigorous, but I got through
Anytime
them.
somebody says straight to me, it's never like okay, like straight does not mean good. It means like it was okay for me not to say it was horrible, but there is something there that made you not stay. So I guess that's really the question. What made you transition from there to where you are now? Like, did you feel like you could run faster in track? Did you want better academics? What was that reason?
I felt like I could have done better in track, and like I kind of just felt like I had outgrown Tulane and like just needed a different scenery. And so I actually talked to the sports psychologist that was at Tulane. I don't think he's there anymore. But I had talked to him and let him know how I was feeling about like my track career and like how I wanted to continue to move forward, and I didn't really feel like I was able to do that at Tulane anymore. And he had told me about some of the people he knew, and he had mentioned NC State. He had also mentioned one of the athletes who had just graduated from there. It's Gabby Cunningham. She went to the Olympics, this last Olympics in the hurdles. And so I reached out to her and was like, hey, what's it like at NC State? Like, I'm thinking about transferring, and I heard good things so far, but like, you've actually been there as a student athlete. Like, can you give me a little bit of insight? And she told me nothing but great things, and I loved it. And then my coach now, who she told me about he was an Olympic gold medalist in the hurdles. And so I was like, okay, so he knows what I need to do to get to that level. So I'm going to take a chance. And I took the chance, and it's been great so far. I love NC State so much, and I really do feel like I'm growing as an athlete.
Nervous? Like, was it like, I don't know, were you nervous entering the portal or what?
So that's the thing. I did not get offered by NC State. I walked on. Okay. I dropped my full ride scholarship and walked on to NC State because I was like, nice. I need to go where I need to go. And I just talked to the coach, and he let me know. He was like straight up. He was just like, hey, like, I'm really excited for you to come here, but like, just so you know, like, we don't have any like money right now. And I was like, that's fine. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for the coach, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. Like, you just need to be like ready for it, and like know, like, you can't have really any doubt about it, you know. I did get offers from some schools that were when I entered into the transfer portal that were like I would consider like not a step down. And they were offering me money, but I really wanted to go to NC State.
See, when I say offer, I don't really mean money. I mean like just offer the opportunity to run, period. Whether it's for money or not. Because a lot of the people who were on my team didn't actually, not a lot. Some of the people weren't offered money, but they went to NCAA championships. So it's not really about being offered. That doesn't matter because you're still good if you're on the team. So being able to even have the opportunity to go to a school that's better than the one you're at is honestly a blessing. So you get to NC State, and this is your second year there, or what?
Yeah, it's my second year.
Second year there. What would you say is the difference between your mindset in high school with track and now?
I feel like now I have a little more like mental strength.
Yeah.
But even in high school, I feel like I had a good amount. But definitely now, like, I have to have a lot more mental strength to get through the workouts, and not just like, because like the workouts in college are definitely a lot harder. And there are times when like you'll run a rep and you're like, that was everything I had. And I don't know how I'm going to run these next reps. And you have to have the mental strength to like be like, okay, I'm going to get up and actually go run these next ones, even though I felt like I gave everything on that last one.
How do you do it? How do you personally do it?
Oh, I just tell myself to keep running. I'm just like, just don't stop, like just keep running. And then sometimes, it's literally gotten like it's something I still kind of struggle with, especially like not dying at the end of a race. Because like you get tired and you're like, oh my gosh, my legs hurt. I don't want to run anymore. But then you have to think to yourself, okay, instead of giving up, I'm gonna run harder because I want to win races. And if I give up now, I'm not gonna be able to win any races. Because if you practice giving up, that's what you're gonna do in a race. So you have to practice like finding whatever's left within you and just like pushing forward.
It's so interesting even asking athletes about that, because it's really hard to get an answer like that's like really what is it called, explained, because people don't understand at a top level, it's not really much to the thought process to push further. It's really that 1 second in your head that's like, okay, either I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. If I'm going to do it, then I'm going to push 150%. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to like instill in other people's brains, because I hear like, I'll interview someone and then sometimes people will be like, dang, I don't know if I really got something from that, or I don't know if I was motivated from that. Because a lot of people think those with like, who are very good, they just like, oh, it's just easy for them, or like their mindset is just whatever. And it's like, it comes off easy, but internally in your head, you have to be that strong to where you're at a rep and you don't want to run it. You just give your all, but you don't even let yourself think for 5 seconds that you don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the difference. Like, it's not like this big like mindset that we have. I think it's really more of the fact just making sure there's no negative thoughts. We just cancel all of that out, which helps us stay confident.
And and another thing I would add to that, and I've noticed that's in my workouts that have gone really well, like if I don't think too hard about it, like if I just do it, it's better. Like if I kind of let my mind go blank and just run, I tend to do better, because if you think about how hard it is and how much you're hurting, then it's so much harder.
What is the best part about being you?
Being me?
Yes.
I feel like my favorite thing about myself is like what I was saying before, is that like I truly like I work hard in everything I do. Like no matter what it is, like if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it well. Because I just don't like a lack of effort in things. It's just kind of off-putting to me if I see that like it's not done well. So
yeah. Okay, let's say this. You're at home, no track anymore, no work anymore. You don't have to work ever.
Yes.
For the rest of your life. You don't have to go to school. What are you doing?
I'm playing video games.
You're doing what?
I'm playing video games.
Facts. What games?
It depends on what mood I'm in. So like if I want to play video games like with my older brother, it'll probably be on the Xbox. I'm probably playing some kind of Halo game or some kind of like Call of Duty game. If I'm by myself, I like to play like really, really old games. So like the Nintendo 64 type thing, like I'm playing like either like Super Smash Bros. Or Banjo-Kazooie, or like some kind of Pokemon game on the Nintendo 64. Or the PlayStation 2. Like I like to go back far. But if I'm playing with other people, then I'll play newer games like the Xbox. Occasionally the PlayStation, but more of the Xbox.
The fact that you said N64, yo, I don't even know when the last time I seen one, honestly. That's whatever though. So okay, I say like we talked about like track and everything, and confidence, and I feel like confidence has to do with who you feel like you are yourself. So like I say, I am Dino, I am blessed, I'm beautiful, I'm a all-American, I'm an African-American, I am strong, I am courageous. Who would you say you are?
I am a lot of the things you just said. I do think I'm beautiful. I think I'm smart. I think I'm hardworking. I think I'm kind. I am, I'm African American and I'm white. I think I'm a good friend. But yeah, no, and I just like I was saying before, like my main thing is just like I try to be the best that I can in almost everything that I do.
Facts.
Like we're created in God's image, so I'm trying to reach that like godly level. And that's kind of like a driving force, and like
Mm-hmm.
and it's made it so I have been able to do as well as I have done so far. Like believe in yourself wholeheartedly. And then like continue to just like put forth the necessary effort that is required for what you're trying to achieve. Um, so like studying or like trying to do well in school, like you can't just expect to show up and do well on the test like if you don't try to learn the material. So
Mm-hmm.
like you have to put forth that effort. And then same thing with track and field, like you have to put in the effort. But believing in yourself is also a very like key component, because like if you don't believe it, like no, regardless of what other people think, like because
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be like, you can't do that. um if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. Like, and that's something that I struggled with a lot this past year. I had like this lingering doubt in the back of my mind, and the doubt didn't really go away until it was a little bit too late last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't start running well until I had only like 1 or 2 meets left. And it cost me opportunities because I had this fear in the back of my mind that like I couldn't do it. This year is a lot different, where I'm a lot more confident in my ability, especially because of how I started to show at the end of the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like, and that's just something that like, and you hear it from a lot of really top athletes, like you have to believe in yourself,
Yeah.
because if you don't, it's not going to happen. Mini successes are still like a success. So like you don't have to be like entirely hard, like, like, oh my gosh, like I'm never gonna run again because I'm not getting this, or like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna do this thing again because I didn't get this one little thing. Like as long as you're making progress, even if it's like a little bit, like you're going in the right direction, and you just need to continue to like push forward and do it, because I feel like there's no timeline to your success. It's going to take
Yeah.
you however long it takes you, and just because it takes someone only 2 seconds and it's taking you like 2 hours doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. You just have to trust in the process and just continue to go forward.